Make an emergency plan now, before it's too late. For a free online tool that helps you develop an emergency plan to keep your business up and running should disaster strike, visit ready.gov/business. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the American Red Cross, and the Ad Council.
Our next update at 1:30. Just ahead, more stimulating talk from the O'Charlie's Digital Studios. $9.99 menu, 9 great meals, 1 great price. O'Charlie's.
College football programs know the importance of recruiting. If they want to compete at the highest level, they need to bring on the best talent, people who have the skills and drive to be a success. The same is true in business. Recruiting is vital. And with ZipRecruiter, you'll have a smarter and simpler way to assemble your own winning team. With just one click, you can post your job to over 100 job boards. Then ZipRecruiter's matching technology identifies relevant talent fast. 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within 24 hours. And your ZipRecruiter dashboard helps keep everything in one place, so it's easy to review and rank the candidates with the best experience. You'll be building a powerhouse program in no time. Choose the smartest way to hire. ZipRecruiter, official sponsor of the Ohio State Buckeyes.
For your free trial, go to ZipRecruiter.com/Go Buckeyes. ZipRecruiter.com/Go Buckeyes. Once again, for a free trial, go to ZipRecruiter.com/Go Buckeyes.
When you think Christmas trees, think Burnett Pools, Spas, and Hot Tubs. Lush, elegant trees designed to fit your look on any budget. Our line of best-selling artificial Christmas trees offers customers unique designs and versatility in styling. Our trees will satisfy your needs when it comes to holiday decor that suits your personality. Hurry in today while the selection is best. Burnett Pools with 3 easy-to-find locations in Canfield, Cortland, and Newcastle, or online at burnettpools.com. From our family to yours, wishing you a happy and joyful holiday season.
Come see us today at Sims Buick GMC's November to Remember sale. Lease an Encore for only $59 a month. A 2017 Enclave Premium for just $79 a month. Your choice, an 18 Terrain or 17 Acadia for just $59 a month. Or a 17 Sierra Double Cab 4x4 for $149 a month. Located on Elm Road off the 82 bypass in Trumbull County, where Price sells cars.
Must qualify through GM Financial. 24 months, 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents thereafter. $2,500 cash or trade plus tax, title, dock, and tags. Payments include lease loyalty. All discounts and rebates included in payment.
The GOP debate tonight after the YSU game. Tangled Up in Blues at 11.
Don't be left out in the cold this winter. Call Mazza Heating and Girard, 545-6063. Your factory authorized Bryant dealer.
Mostly cloudy skies today. Chance for a rain shower, the high 47. Tonight, clouds, chance for rain, maybe a snow shower, the low 29. Sunday, partly sunny with a high 39. Partly cloudy on Sunday night, a low 31. And sunshine Monday with a high 47. Again, today, mostly cloudy, chance for rain showers, and a high 47.
It's 51.
All right, welcome everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. We get to do this here on Saturdays where we open up the phone lines to you, give you a place to kind of talk about things that are happening in the geek world and the tech world, give you an opportunity to call and ask questions if you have any. Phone number 330-729-9977. We're also streaming on YouTube, so if you want to catch the show and watch the stream at the same time, it's got the same feed that you listen to on the radio. And you can text message us at 333-1570. All show long, I'll be monitoring those text messages too. So if you've got a question and you're in the car and you can't call, it's a good way to get your questions and comments to me. Interactive, almost. So a lot of stuff happened. I mean, we've had these short sort of shows. The Fall Sports always do a number on our schedule on our Saturdays here. But we got a couple of short ones, and we haven't really got to any of the big news items because there really wasn't enough time to dedicate to it. But now we've got all kind of time to be able to put into and do explaining. And we had a couple of listeners and users that had questions about this net neutrality thing. And we spent a good bit of time on it yesterday when we were talking to Morris Ray, and the depth. I mean, we wanted it from like an overall standpoint, but we didn't get the depth into the details. So I figured we would do that. We would put some details into action now, so that if anybody out there is wondering, what this thing is and how you should feel about it, and if you support it or don't support it, and so on and so forth. So we'll go into net neutrality. There's another technology I want to talk about. It's called Li-Fi, and it is to wireless networks using light rather than radio waves. So we'll do a little bit of talking about that. That's sort of my next project, something that I'm going to dive into and get involved in. It's going to be awesome and amazing. So that's coming up down the road. Some Bitcoin news came up this week, so we'll make sure we talk about a little bit about Bitcoin and some other topics along the way. So we hope you sit back. And cool thing about this show is that if you listen to it, if you give it enough of a chance, and maybe you're not, real technically savvy, but just being around it and hearing the language and listening to the topics, I mean, it sort of draws you in. We presented all this stuff in a practical way where we're not just talking about stuff that doesn't apply to you. You could pretty much figure out when we're talking about something how to make use of it almost right away. So through osmosis, if you stay around long enough and you listen to the words enough and you hear the conversations enough, you get to be a better user without really having to do much other than just paying attention to what other people ahead of you are talking about and doing. So if you're starting on the track, you just bought a computer and you know how to maybe check your email and it's a little intimidating because you hear these people talking about these more advanced things than what you're doing, just stick around. And, the more you play and you tinker and you get involved in, the better user you become. I mean, you got to think about it. Most of the people who started in the beginning, Windows used to ship with a program called Minesweeper. And you know why they sent Minesweeper? It was because the mouse was new, right? And so for regular people to start using computers, we had to have an interface that was intuitive. So moving a mouse with your hand allowed you to immerse your hand into the virtual reality that was a desktop. And they shipped Minesweeper so that people would get used to the clicking in small, like you had a little square that you had to click into, right? So your hand and your eye coordination, those things linking up to be able to make that pointer go across the screen and line up directly over an icon that you needed to double click on. Minesweeper helped you zero in on smaller and smaller areas of the desktop. And through that practice, allowed those early users to start developing the ability to click around. So if hey, that's the starting point. That's where everybody was at a certain point. We're starting kids out at 2 and 3 years old, swiping across a tablet. Now, if you've started using a tablet and you're used to using a mouse, you can see where there's a little bit of a curve between what your brain's comfortable with. You're slower on a tablet than you are on a mouse and keyboard. Why? Because you've got years invested behind the keyboard. You are good at getting your stuff done as quick as possible. So we got everybody across the spectrum. People are just starting where they have to develop the ability in their brain to make use of a graphical user interface and a keyboard and a mouse. And then the next generation is going to be maybe swiping across tablets and really immersing yourself into physically touching the screen. And the generation after that might be completely virtual reality, where you're immersing yourself in an environment where you're interacting with things without having to have an interface like a keyboard, a mouse, or a screen to touch. You're immersed in it. You're part of it. And so the reason I point that out is because people get intimidated from the get-go and they start dismissing it as something they're not going to pick up on. And I guarantee you that if you stick around long enough and you just give it a chance and you get your hands dirty and start playing around with this stuff, it'll sort of like present itself in the way that it should. Okay, by getting into trouble and installing programs and taking pictures and using all of your data and all of that kind of stuff, lets you participate and get good at it and allow your brain to get trained to adopt this and make it part of what it is that you do. You can go from a person who is taking snapshots and developing them to someone who has complete photo albums that are all digital, right? Those two things, it's the same thing. We wanted to capture memories, and we used to do it on pieces of paper. Now we capture memories, and we slap it on a hard drive. So this evolution, no matter what point you get started on, it's fair enough to know that there's enough people in this industry that'll be, more than willing to share a piece of their brain with you. And that's what this show is. I share a little bit of experience from users just like yourself out there. We have this stage that we set those people up on. And as you listen to where they're at, their plights, they're going to be ahead of you probably. Some of them are going to be behind you. But through this cooperation, through this environment, we're able to teach each other and learn a little bit. You just got me in the pilot seat that I just pull the strings and make the people start talking, right? And once they start sharing their stories, then we get to talk about that stuff. And you always hear me when I answer a call or after I answer the question with the caller, I take it a little bit further for the listeners out there because maybe, where we address the caller's issue, we're using that user or that listener to spread even more details and data, because you might be just sitting there saying, okay, I hope he says this because he's speaking on your behalf. I had a printer problem too, and you just hope that it would go far enough to help you too. So anyway, that's the long introduction as to why we do this. I have to remind myself and all of us, the reason we got in this boat is to help one another. And in the information age, that's really what it's all about. I mean, if I can, as mechanically inclined as I am, if I can jump into YouTube and watch a couple of videos about installing a mailbox, right, and take it with all of its frustrating mistakes that I made and how expensive it ended up being, but I conquered it because I was willing to stick it out long enough. It took me probably 20 times as long as it would have taken you. You could have probably just gone out in the yard and winged it and probably even had a better result than I did. But we stepped out in that environment, we expanded that horizon, we pushed ourselves to do something that we were uncomfortable with, and we tackled it because we're in the information age, and it's all possible because anything you want to learn and know is right in front of you. So I hope you'll stick with us here and give it a couple weeks, and for all of the listeners, the participants over the years, I really appreciate you being along for the ride. You guys are what makes this show work, and I'm always thankful that you're there to help us. So 330-729-9977. Let's go to Dave. Dave, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Hi, this is David. I am a customer of Youngstown Computer, but I have a question.
Okay, I'm ready.
Over the years, I have, of course, upgraded in computers, and I've probably had about 12 of them together with upgrading some of my relatives. I've always taken the hard drive out and put it in the box so the information on the hard drive wouldn't be compromised. What do I do with those 12 hard drives?
Well, you can. The best thing to do is to zero them out. Every manufacturer of hard drives, they have sort of like a diagnostics and utilities program that they offer. And what we'll do is we'll get the manufacturers. Let's just say it's Western Digital for this example. They have a program called Western Digital Diag, and we run this program. And one of the options in the testing is to write ones and zeros to the hard drive. Now, what that does is on every platter of every hard drive, every sector of the hard drive, it writes a 0 or 1 to, which effectively scrambles whatever data was on there. It's not recoverable after you write zeros and ones. Now, it takes a little while because maybe a couple hours for it to run through every sector. But when you remove formatting, the data is still technically there until you write ones and zeros to the entire platter of the drive. It's not really erased. So it's good that you didn't just pass it on, but if you slave it off on another computer, you can write zeros and ones to it.
Okay, are you saying that you could do that at Youngstown Computer?
You sure can. Yeah, if you bring it down to us, if you've got a couple of them, they can just slave them off all for you and get those drives deleted before you dispose of them.
That's what I'll do then. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate the phone call.
Very good.
All right, take care. All right, so, and again, this is just what we do. So basically, your hard drive storage, okay? So there's two parts of this. There's the actual part of the hard drive that stores the data, where it's sitting on there in zeros and ones. And then you have the partition table that basically is an index of everything that's on the drive. So a lot of times when you format the drive or you delete a file, you're not actually going over the platters and removing all the zeros and ones that are connected to that file. All you're doing is removing the entry in the table of contents that allows the space that data was using to be used again. Okay, so if you recently deleted something, it's not really off the hard drive, just it's removed from the index. So if you don't do anything, if you don't start installing programs or moving data around or defragging your hard drive, that data is still sitting exactly where it was before because nothing took its space. It's still sitting there. So if you ran a recovery before anything else happened, the chances are very good that you'd be able to get that data back. Now, if you waited a long time and maybe a week later you decided to try and recover it, there might be portions of that data that got overwritten by the space that you allowed to free up when you removed it or deleted it, and that way you have a less of a chance. The more time goes by and the more activities that you do, the more likely it is that space has been reused and the data is no good. All right, so 330-729-9977, and I'm doing a significant amount of talking right now. So let me go right into net neutrality. This is, one of our listeners out there wanted to know a little bit more about it and how it applies to them. Now, I have to speak from sort of two different levels here. Number one, how you're going to feel as a consumer, and number two, how I have to feel as a business person or entrepreneur or something like that. So excuse me, as a consumer, how this applies. Now, basically what it is, the FCC regulates communications, radio communications, so radio, television, and now it's playing a role in regulating internet communications. So during the Obama administration, the FCC implemented a rule, a Title II rule, that rather than a utility, the internet was going to be regulated as if, or it went from a data distribution to a utility. Okay, so basically what happened is it gave the FCC jurisdiction to regulate internet, just like it could regulate the what happens on the radio waves or what happens over broadcast television. It also now has jurisdiction to be able to act in the internet. Now, here's essentially what the fears were. So we had three companies that started misbehaving. We had Verizon, we had AT&T, and we had Comcast, all three of which started to develop services that were competing with the services of other companies. And because these companies were responsible for distribution of content, they gave their own products priority over products of other people. So in this case, I think it was FaceTime. FaceTime was it's a data hog. It's basically a lot of video and audio. And I believe it was AT&T who either throttled or changed when a user on their network decided to access FaceTime. Either the quality was down or they blocked packets or something like that. They deprioritized the traffic that went to FaceTime. Well, the FTC found this out, and they were sued, and then they started behaving again. Okay, so the way that before the Title II happened, it was reactive. When a company misbehaved, they were sued, and then they started behaving again. Okay, so the marketplace had a method for being able to correct that bad behavior. Okay, so we're going to continue this topic when we come back, and I'll give you a little bit of a summary here. 330-729-9977 is the phone number. We're going to take this break, come back, take some more of your phone calls. This is the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
You're hearing the Youngstown Computer Show with Joe Danier on News Radio 570 WKBN.
One of the issues we have in Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania is lack of sunshine. Sometimes it's simple as just a vitamin D deficiency. Find out more about this deficiency Sunday morning, 7 a.m., News Radio 570 WKBN.
From America's best-selling automobile to the world's toughest trucks, there's a reason why customers are driving from Youngstown, Boardman, Austintown, Hermitage, even Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So come and find out for yourself at our all-new state-of-the-art facility on Route 46. See you at Toyota of Warren.
Gold Cross Limousines, locally owned and operated, providing the safest, most enjoyable transportation experience with a fleet of new chauffeur-driven limousines, sedans, and passenger vans to provide total comfort and luxury for all occasions. Gold Cross Limousines feature late-model stretch limousines, complete audio and video equipment, along with a central bar and rich leather interiors. Gold Cross Limousines, total comfort for all occasions. Locally, call 330-750-0239 or online at goldcrosslimo.com.
Winter weather can bring plenty of white-knuckle driving moments, but with Michelin winter tires, you can get a little peace of mind knowing you're prepared for the unpredictable. And from November 15th to December 11th, you can get a $70 reward card after submission with the purchase of 4 new Michelin passenger or light truck tires. So be prepared for white-knuckle driving and get your vehicle ready for winter now. Just visit any Flynn's Tire and Auto Service location or go to flynnstire.com for more information.
And tell them Flinny sent you.
See MichelinMan.com/promo for details. Offer expires 12/11/17. Void where prohibited.
I play every day. Free to download and play every day.
At this point, I kind of want to smash the TV. But instead, I went to iPlay.com and downloaded the app and play new and classic games on my computer for free. No sign-up and no credit card required. Nothing like a good mystery to take me away, but I don't have time for a movie or novel. So instead, I'm into the latest iPlay games in the Mystery Case Files Adventure series. And when I need a classic, Agatha Christie murder mystery games hit the spot. I get my mystery fix and come away thinking more clearly. No Wi-Fi? No problem. With the free iPlay app, I can play my games offline and tune out. I'm so glad I went to iPlay.com and downloaded the app. It's my daily sanity restoration. iPlay. every day.
Every day. YouTube download and play every day.
Bet you didn't know this. Broadcast radio reaches more people in America than TV. Yeah, AM/FM radio. The radio that's free in your car, your kitchen, your office. Broadcast radio reaches more adults, teens, and millennials, more of everyone, more shoppers. Broadcast radio reaches 93% of Americans every week. That's bigger than TV, Facebook, and Google. If you're a marketer who needs to reach new fans, visit iHeartMedia.com for the one place everyone is listening. AM/FM radio.
Fairway Ford in Canfield is going to save you thousands and thousands of dollars. We are discounting nearly every brand new 2017 Ford car, truck, and SUV by thousands of dollars. And we'll give you 0% financing for 72 months, plus an additional $1,000 rebate. So Fairway saves you thousands, 0% saves you thousands, and then get another 1,000 too. Only at fairwayfordohio.com or 330-533-FORD. Fairway, that's the way we do business.
There are thousands of different rules in the Social Security Handbook. Are you confident that you know the right ones that apply to you? The wrong decision could be costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars. At Financial Engines, we believe there's no one-size-fits-all answer to claiming Social Security benefits, and that it's important to work with an advisor to understand the pros and cons of delaying benefits and how to avoid the hidden traps that could reduce them. As America's largest independent investment advisor, according to Investment News, Financial Engines offers help to more than 9 million people. We provide objective, personal, and comprehensive planning advice. Get to financialengines.com. We'll connect you with an expert financial advisor in your area. We'll help create a retirement and Social Security benefits plan so you don't risk leaving anything on the table. So, financialengines.com. Get started today.
Hi, I'm Doug Korp of Financial Engines here in Youngstown. I'm ready to work with you to help make your financial goals a reality. Go to financialengines.com or call 330-726-3100 today.
We're here with Scott Jones from Youngstown Propane Fireplace and Patio. Scotty, fireplace season has arrived.
Yes, it has, and nobody has a bigger selection of custom-made vented and unvented fireplaces than we do, and nobody installs them better than us. We also have a great selection of outdoor fire pits and the best spas made today, Dimension 1 spas. Right now, you can enjoy sale prices on everything in the store. And if you heat your house with propane, call us for the best prices and service in town. Since 1981, we're Youngstown Propane Fireplace and Patio on Route 224 in Canfield.
It's 51.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I am your host, Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer. And we do this most Saturdays when we aren't interrupted by either football or some kind of sporting event. And it is really good to be back. It really feels good to be behind the microphone and talking to all of you during this holiday weekend. I hope all of you had a good Thanksgiving. A little bit about Youngstown Computer and what it is that we do. Youngstown Computer is sort of a service provider, and I say sort of now because we're sort of taking a leap into hardware development, a little bit of hardware manufacturing. So very soon, I'll have to say Youngstown Computer is a service provider and hardware manufacturer. So if you have a computer that needs repaired or backed up, or you're transferring data to a new machine, our bench, our guys over on the residential services can definitely take care of you. The pricing wise, it's $25 to look at a machine, and then if you approve service, we roll that $25 into whatever the service is. But before we do that, we do an assessment phase to make sure if our guys feel like it's a worthwhile endeavor to have repaired. We have these sort of basic rules about the age of the machine and the cost of the repair, and then we compare it and give you all the details and let you decide if you want to have the work done. But during that assessment phase, we're sort of sniffing out whether or not it's a good or bad decision, and giving you as much information as we can to help you, make a good choice. And as I said, that we're going to be doing manufacturing. I'm super stoked about this next part. I'm actually a couple weeks ago we had a company, Advanced Video Productions, in Youngstown. They needed a development computer. Development computers are traditionally a little higher end than your normal desktop. And for the longest time, Youngstown Computer, we manufactured computers. And then Gateway came on the scene, and then Dell came on the scene, and it just didn't make sense to manufacture computers anymore because they were doing a good job, and there's not something that I can improve by building it in-house. So we really got out of the business of building computers because we just couldn't do it any better than was already being done. So, you couldn't take a computer that I would build And then mine cost about $80 more than something you can get from Dell, and it's the same stuff. So it didn't make sense at the time for me to do it. Well, when it came, because of, I mean, that was every bit of 10 years ago. Time has gone by, and so that whole Gateway Dell thing put a lot of your custom system builders out of business. There just isn't all that many. We bought from Ultra for a little while and Systemax for a little while. And all of those have gone away because there's just not money to be made. So we had this development computer that we needed to either decide to buy or to build. Okay, and there's a company up in Twinsburg that was our go-to. They just had such good stuff, and they built lots of gaming computers, and this was their wheelhouse. And they had a waiting list of about a month. Okay, so that's how backed up they are. There aren't too many of them, and there's a demand for gaming computers and high-end computers, and there just aren't the developers or the producers anymore. So because of that experience and having to wait 30 days to be able to get this computer, and I said, you know what, screw this, I'm just going to do it myself. And so we decided that we're going to start producing gaming level, sort of like from the top end of the commercial side all the way up in the development, real high-end stuff. We're going to start manufacturing here in Youngstown, Ohio. So I'll talk a little bit more about that when we come back, and I'm going to finish up with our net neutrality thing when we come back as well. So lots of topics, a lot of stuff to talk about today. But if you want to get on the phone lines, 330-729-9977, and it's open to anything. It doesn't have to be on these two topics. But we're going to take a break, come back, take some more of those phone calls. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
You're hearing the Youngstown Computer Show with Joe Danier on News Radio 570 WKBN.
It's 1:30.
Here's what's happening in the valley. The driver of a car that flipped in a crash in Mercer County was nowhere to be found when police arrived. Police say they found the flipped vehicle responding to a single-car crash last night on Mercer West Middlesex Road in Lackawanna Township. It's still under investigation. A search that started Thursday night after a man from Wethersfield was reported missing ended up with the man being found dead in a wooded area yesterday. Trumbull County 911 says Jeff White went missing about 9:30 Thursday night. Officials say White appears to have died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. An investigation is underway. If you're wondering why power was knocked out to parts of Trumbull County yesterday for the second time in the past week, First Energy says the outage was due to an issue with their equipment. A few thousand customers also had power knocked out on Wednesday afternoon. In sports, the Cavs beat Charlotte 100-99 on the ice. Penguins, they lose to Boston 4-3. The Youngstown Phantoms, they were in Bloomington last night. They beat Central Illinois 4-3. College basketball, Bucknell beat the YSU women 66-60. Northern Colorado beat the YSU men 80-67. The men are back in action this afternoon. 4:40 airtime. They take on Southern Mississippi. Division V high school football playoffs. Eastwood beat South Range 21-7. Western Pennsylvania, Farrell shut out Ridgeway Johnsonburg 36-0. High school girls basketball, Canton McKinley over Ursuline 75-34, and Howland beat Lakeview 69-54. From the insurance experts, our Kashmiri and Associates News Center, I'm Dave Price on Youngstown Warren's only news radio 570 WKBN.
Humans. Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. The House is expected to vote on a sex harassment resolution in the coming week.
The resolution, if passed, is meant to be a wake-up call for lawmakers, especially in light of recent sexual harassment claims made against Senator Al Franken. Senator Franken issuing an apology yesterday. Ranking member Robert Brady of the Committee on House Administration will vote on the resolution next week, and he says, quote, "We cannot tolerate any discrimination or harassment in the workplace, and we cannot have a system that protects offenders."
Fox's Marianne Rafferty. More than 300 worshippers, including 24 children, were killed in a terror attack on an Egyptian mosque Friday.
The attackers, numbering about 30 in total, bombed the mosque first, and then, as worshippers fled in terror, they were gunned down.
Ashish Joshi of Sky News. 128 were wounded. Egypt hit back overnight with retaliatory airstrikes. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Our next update at 2. Just ahead, more stimulating talk from the O'Charley's Digital Studios. $9.99 menu, 9 great meals, 1 great price. O'Charley's.
When you think Christmas trees, think Burnett Pool, Spas, and Hot Tubs. Lush, elegant trees designed to fit your look on any budget. Our line of best-selling artificial Christmas trees offers customers unique designs and versatility in styling. Our trees will satisfy your needs when it comes to holiday decor that suits your personality. Hurry in today while the selection is best. Burnett Pools with 3 easy-to-find locations in Canfield, Cortland, and Newcastle. Or online at burnettpools.com. From our family to yours, wishing you a happy and joyful holiday season.
You know, I've so enjoyed working with LibertySafe.com this year. Not only do they make the best, greatest safe, but they also make it so easy to own one. Did you know, for example, at LibertySafe.com, you can buy a Liberty Safe and receive, get this, 12 months, interest-free payments, 0 down, 0 APR. Now, LibertySafe.com even offers sales for as low as $15 a month. That's right, $15 a month. Now, the reason I bought several Liberty Safes, I have 5 of them years ago, was that I looked it up. They're the best in the business in terms of price and features, and they have an amazing lifetime warranty, and they have great service. Now, they even offered in-home delivery, and that made it simple and easy for me. But remember, when you buy bigger. Now, most people run out of space and wish that they would have bought a bigger Liberty Safe. So do what I did, and that's buy 2 and have them installed right in your home, 12 months, interest-free payments as low as $15 a month on approved credit. And you can relax when you're at work or on vacation. Peace of mind, comfort, the best built safe on the planet, the best service, LibertySafe.com. Go there today.
Ever had an obstructed view at a show or an event?
This is so amazing.
What's so amazing? I can't see around this concrete column. That's what it's like relying on checking your credit to protect you from identity theft. You get a limited view.
She looks beautiful.
Who looks beautiful? You might detect credit changes, but you can miss threats, like someone getting an online payday loan in your name or selling your personal information on the dark web.
Did you see that?
See what? The concrete? With LifeLock, you can see more. We use proprietary technology to detect a range of identity threats, and if you have a problem, a U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock can alert you to threats you could miss.
Told you this was worth seeing.
You are killing me. Memberships start at $9.99 a month plus applicable taxes. Now get 10% off. Go to LifeLock.com and enter promo code NEWS. That's promo code NEWS. LifeLock. More detection, more protection.
Message and data rates may apply.
If you're considering going back to school, ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you have college credits you need transferred? Do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of these questions, Arizona State University is the perfect school for you. Arizona State University offers over 150 highly ranked degree programs 100% online. You'll learn the same degree as you would on campus from wherever you are on your schedule. Plus, ASU Online accepts most transfer credits. For information, text WORK to 35517. Learn for yourself why the Wall Street Journal ranks ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates and why 87% of ASU grads are recruited within 90 days of graduation. Learn to grow, learn to succeed, and learn to thrive at Arizona State University. To learn more about ASU online degrees, text WORK to 35517. That's WORK to 35517.
For that perfect gift, visit Deneen's Jewelry and Gifts, 822 North State Street, Girard.
Mostly cloudy skies today. Chance for a rain shower, the high 47. Tonight, clouds, chance for rain, maybe a snow shower, the low 29. Sunday, partly sunny with a high 39. Partly cloudy on Sunday night, a low 31. And sunshine Monday with a high 47. Again, today, mostly cloudy, chance for rain showers and a high 47.
Temp is 52.
News on demand. Go to 570WKBN.com. Bad credit, no credit, special financing available at Donnell Ford, Market Street, Boardman.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I am Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer, and this is what we do on Saturdays. We talk about what's going on in tech. So right off the get-go, let me resume the talk about net neutrality. And there's a couple of you out there who asked me offline, how they should feel about it, where they should go from here. And as I suggested, I've got to take two positions on this. I've got to take the consumer version, and I also got to take the enterprising and entrepreneurial version too. So the FCC is really who wants to, or this Title II gave governance to the FCC. They want to regulate how internet is distributed. So the way the internet works is you have your ISP. Okay, the position of ISP in your household is the person that you pay for internet service. So you could pay your cable company, or you can pay your DSL company, or you can pay your cellular Wi-Fi company, or your satellite company, whatever it is that you use to get internet into your house. That is your ISP or internet service provider. And then those guys buy it from big backbone lines from, sometimes it's also phone companies, sometimes it's somebody else. But anyway, the regulation is how the sale or distribution of that bandwidth gets assigned. So when you and another consumer, okay, you cannot be distinguished. There cannot be a difference between what you receive and what they receive if you are paying the same amount of money. So if you've got a $50 package and they've got a $50 package, they cannot do anything. They cannot deliver a product that's any different between those two. Now, you can go faster than your neighbor by paying more money, and then you can get a faster speed. Now, on the other side of that, too, you have content sellers, right, like Netflix, who are also participating in buying internet service from their providers. They are selling up to the internet, and the internet is distributing what it is that they sell. So if you have a digital content, if you have what you do is digital content. So if you do, YouTube videos, or you do Netflix or something like that, then your whole business is predicated on someone being able to get to your stuff and stay on your stuff, and you do not want to be you do not want to be treated any different. You just want it to be an available place for someone to go. Now, what caused all of this, I believe, is that there were a couple of providers that were not behaving well, and they started treating some traffic of their competitors different. They had the ability, they were providing the internet, but also they had some services that sat on top of that internet that competed with someone else. Because they controlled the service, all right, they were able to make their service perform better than their competitor's service because they controlled both of them. And that's when somebody intervened and sued to have that practice. It would be sort of monopolistic. That practice ended, and they were adequately punished, and they stopped behaving that way. So net neutrality sort of takes that kind of stuff in mind. It's the fear of consumers that if data is treated differently, we don't trust the marketplace and businesses to be fair with who they treat. So the one analogy that I read was think about like mail, right? Mail distribution. And if everybody's mail came on the same day at the same speed for the same cost, that would be net neutrality. If the postal service was allowed to, first deliver to the neighborhoods they preferred, the easy ones, the ones they could drive up to, and then sometimes, a little bit later, at a different rate, they would get to the ones that were a little bit harder. And the ones that were really difficult that they might not ever get to. Okay, so that's the analogy of if the marketplace gets to decide, then it can decide to treat different consumers different depending on what they are, where they are or whatever. So you don't want a poor neighborhood to be underserved because it's harder to get infrastructure there, right? So the other side of this is the enterprising side, the innovation side. I mean, you got to think that we have 4 of the biggest tech companies, okay, came to be because the internet provided such an open and free, stage to develop their product on. If you change that stage, what you're basically saying is that everything that is going to be developed has already been developed. Now it's time to build some walls and build some moats and start getting into prevent defense, right? And make sure the consumer doesn't lose, because these companies are getting big, right? The ones that are already established. So they need to be tied in. They need to be roped in a little bit, right? And the way that they're effectively doing this is by allowing, really regulating and paring down, regulations, really doing, and they call them heavy-handed regulations. See, what I think of when I look at FCC and FTC, I look at FCC sort of as the preventative, the before it happens. They got lots of rules and they've got lots of ways to keep people in line, and they don't really hesitate when somebody crosses the line to come down and get them back in line again. The FTC is more like a after the fact, like a police agency would be, where they have a set of rules and then you're investigated and they pursue you and whatnot. So I think that this balance of, do you want this regulation to be done beforehand, where everybody's kept in check and they make lots of regulations that you got to conform to even participate, or the other way around, where they want to leave it kind of open, and if you misbehave, then let the FTC chase you down and make sure you do things right? Because from an enterprising standpoint, we want people to make stuff, right? We want people to dream and have the risk reward, so that if you take a risk that there's something down the road that you're going to be paid more than someone who wasn't going to take the risk. So when it comes down to it, if you're a consumer that believe that the best of our technology has already been made, and now it's time to make sure that it's provided, for all time, for all consumers, then this is a good time to put that trench out and have the FCC regulated, and the players that are in there will be kept in check, and they'll provide a service for a certain rate, and everything's good. Now, if you're an enterprising, if you're a guy that's a small business owner and you're trying to outdo your competition and you think you've got a better product, then you really don't want the FCC to come in there and sort of lay down those regulations at this point. You want it to be kind of Wild Westy kind of thing, because that means there's still room for you to improve and for you to make, bring your product to market. So that's really what it comes down to. If there's more innovation to be done, we want to keep it open. If we're pretty much, it's as good as it's going to get, then we want, the FCC to start regulating. So I agree with both sides of this argument, where I don't want companies misbehaving and I don't want governments misbehaving. And if you give it both sides, if you let the government win, I feel like they're going to take that power and they're going to, abuse it just because that's how this works. I think there's a really down the line compromise between the two. So today, in the Trump administration, they want it to be an all FTC thing. They want it to be, let's go back to the original rulings and let the FTC chase people down as they misbehave. Let's do this in the court system, where if somebody doesn't do what they're supposed to be doing, the marketplace will shake this out. Okay, which is cool. I understand has to be part of it, but I also want some transparency, where you've got some big dogs in the house right now, right? And they really need to know that they're not going to get away with abusing their powers, right? Because that's what will happen if we give the Facebooks and the Googles and whatever just the ability to regulate themselves, which is they're too powerful to do it on their own. So that a level of transparency has to be there, where if we share it with a committee in government, that committee, if we can find a way to make it nonpartisan, and then we can find a way that it's not wielded as a weapon against someone, I think it gives consumers a chance to kind of peek in on what's happening within these companies and know what their business practices and know how they treat people and make that very public, and then you can decide to do business with someone or not. What makes this very complicated is that there's some, I called them booby traps yesterday, because there's some things that are very anti-competitive that's already in play. You have these networks that have exclusivity, where, Spectrum, if you have Spectrum cable, you don't have another choice to be able to go get another ISP. We're not there yet. We're not developed to the point where we've got 4 competing products that you can switch to, that if this one makes you mad, you can just go over here. If this one misbehaves, you can just go over here. So the consumers can't correct this on their own. We need some help from regulation to give us some power to be able to put back in check a company that decides to flex that power for the wrong reasons. So I guess that's my 2 cents on this. It's a very, and the more political this gets, the less smart people are working on it, because the more political it gets, it means that somebody's taking a side. It's almost like if you, it's the football mentality, where you're rooting for your side. If it's the Obama plan versus the Trump plan, that it's evil, or you jump on a side. Where I want all 3. I want both sides to win. I want the government not to be in charge of this, and I don't want companies to be completely in charge. I want a hybrid of both, where the consumers win because nobody's in control of it. Neither side, because I don't trust either side, absolutely. So I wouldn't want to give that complete control to one entity. So I think there's a way for us to share this off so that we don't get ourselves in that compromising position. So as a consumer, it's probably pretty fair to say that you're not going to notice whether or not this deal is even there. So you as a voter, I don't think if it was there or not, you're going to even notice. As a provider where you're doing business, you're definitely going to start to know, because the cost of participating in an environment that's heavily regulated is a lot more expensive. So a lot of you out there that are part of content selling may notice that this might get a little bit more costly than you can afford to participate in. So we'll continue. We'll answer some more of your questions about this, because it's like I said, there's a lot to it, and there's a lot of lengthy 4-day conversations that happen between smarter people than I am, and they still can't come to any kind of agreement. So there's, like I said, much more to say about it. If you have any questions, you can call here, 330-729-9977. Let's take a call from Gary now. Gary, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Yes. I have a computer, and it's I don't. It's not that I don't remember the password. Somehow it got updated or something. I always used to use a PIN to sign on to the computer. Now all of a sudden it wants a password, and I had the password written down, but the one I put in doesn't work. How is there a way to get on now with the administrative password?
Well, a couple of ways. If you have more than one account on the computer, you can, in their administrator accounts, you can actually go in there with a different administrator and then change the password for the other account. If it is your,
I'm the only one that has a password.
Okay, what operating system are you using?
Windows 10.
Okay. Now, did you set up with a Microsoft account, or is it just a local account?
Yeah, I have a Microsoft account,
Okay,
but I can't get that far to get on to that.
If you bound it to a Microsoft account, you can log in from another machine, and you can go through a reset procedure. And then when you fire your computer, like, so you go through a reset procedure, you get your password changed on the Microsoft end. When you fire up your computer the next time, that new password that you set, that you reset, it will allow you to get back in your computer again.
Oh, okay.
So you'll just have to ask somebody to use their computer, go somewhere else where there is a computer, and go through that reset process.
You can't use your phone to do that?
You probably can, yeah. Yeah, if you go to Microsoft's website and go to the login and just, I would Google Microsoft account password reset, and it'll take you to Microsoft. Make sure you're at Microsoft's website, but that's all there's to it.
Oh, okay. All right, then. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Yep.
Thank you for the phone call. I just cut myself off there. What I've done sometimes. All right. So, what Gary was talking about is you have two types of account. This only applies to Windows 10. So, if you have a local account, that means when you set up your account for the first time, you did not log in using your Microsoft account. Okay, you select it a couple times, set up as local, set up as local, set up as local, right? So then your account only exists on the local side. It's not bound to the one that's on the internet. So you really have to watch out. If you're only going to create a local account, you got to make sure that you remember your password, because there's no way to reset it. Now, the other side is that if you did, when we were talking to Gary there, is that it connects and communicates with what's on the internet. So if your computer connects to the internet, you can change the password on your local side, or you can change it on the computer side, or the internet side. So either way, there's a way of handling that. So do I recommend one or the other? I mean, both has its pros and cons. I do all local accounts. I just don't like doing the whole internet thing. I like to have all my stuff local. All right, so 330-729-9977. We'll take a break, come back, take some more of your phone calls. This is the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
You're hearing the Youngstown Computer Show with Joe Danier on News Radio 570 WKBN.
Quiet, comfort, and affordability. The most important things when choosing a place to live. Westchester Square Apartments offers something to fit every need and budget. 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom, and studio apartments. They rent apartments, but they sell convenience. You can find luxury living at Westchester Executive Apartments, 1,200 square feet of upscale living with carports, or independent senior living at Westchester Commons, strategically located in the center of Austintown, right next to Route 11. For the perfect apartment, call 330-799-5758. Come and be a good neighbor in a community of good neighbors. Westchester Square Apartments, Austintown. For more information, go to waldenmanagement.com.
The Keystone Blind Association is seeking full-time and part-time positions throughout the area. As an equal opportunity employer, the Keystone Blind Association considers applicants for all positions regardless of non-job related medical condition or handicaps, or any other legally protected status. Disabled persons are strongly urged to apply. To learn more about positions available, visit KeystoneBlind.org, keyword employment.
Keystone, our vision works.
Disney on Ice presents Dream Big. Adventure is waiting with the Disney princesses, plus Anna, Elsa, and Olaf from Frozen.
Tickets start at $15. Restrictions and additional charges may apply. Playing at Covelli Center December 7th through 10th.
If you're looking for the right tool or product for your home, nobody has a better selection or price than Handyman Supply in Niles. And when you want that friendly, personalized service for your purchase, Handyman's the place to go. So for winter goods and great Christmas decorations, it's Handyman Supply in McKinley Heights and Niles.
Sorelli Jewelers offers the personalized experience you should expect from your jeweler. Sorelli's offers the very best in quality, value, and service, and that's why our traditions have continued for over 70 years and 3 generations. We're not bigger, just better. Visit Sorelli's on Market Street in Boardman Department or SorelliJewelers.com.
One stop, one call, we do it all. Modern Home Kitchen and Bath is here for you. Your new kitchen or bath is a big decision. With over 50 years experience, we will give you expert advice and the attention you need. Modern Home Kitchen and Bath, West Market Street in Warren.
Margarita's Grill in Girard is the place to go for great seafood, pasta, and pizza. All day Monday and Tuesday, enjoy uncorked wine where you save $5 off a bottle. Friday is our famous fish night, and Wednesday and Saturday, the entertainment is great at Margarita's Grill at the intersection of Churchill and 422 in Girard.
You think everyone's watching the show with the girl and the dragons and the Game of the Thrones? But just like the show, that's fantasy. More people in America listen to the radio than watch the Throne Show. It's true. Radio reaches 93% of Americans each week. That's more than TV, Facebook, and Google. Put that in your dragon and smoke it. Radio reaches more adults, teens, and even millennials. So if you're a marketer, get the most of your marketing dollar. Talk to the folks who dethrone TV. Go to iHeartMedia.com for the one place you can reach everybody. AM, FM, radio.
Message and data rates may apply.
If you're considering going back to school, ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you have college credits you need transferred? Do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of these questions, Arizona State University is the perfect school for you. Arizona State University offers over 150 highly ranked degree programs 100% online. You'll learn the same degree as you would on campus from wherever you are on your schedule. Plus, ASU Online accepts most transfer credits. For information, text WORK to 35517. Learn for yourself why the Wall Street Journal ranks ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates and why 87% of ASU grads are recruited within 90 days of graduation. Learn to grow, learn to succeed, and learn to thrive at Arizona State University. To learn more about ASU online degrees, text WORK to 35517. That's WORK to 35517.
The year-end sales event is going on now at Fairway Ford in Canfield. Only at Fairway Ford, you get a huge 25% off the lowest MSRP available on every 2017 Ford F-150 XL and XLT in stock with approval at Ford Credit. We always have a great selection, and 25% off saves you as much as $13,000 off. Plus, we'll pay top dollar for your trade-in. See us at FairwayFordOhio.com or 330-533-FORD. Fairway, that's the way we do business.
Hi again, Dan Rivers. As you know, the holidays can be stressful. Well, we have a way to make it easier. Our annual Christmas auction is happening Monday, November 27th through Monday, December 4th at 2. Check our website right now and see what you can bid on. 570WKBN.com.
iHeartRadio is your Christmas music app. Christmas music stations for any taste. Rock, R&B, country, even North Pole Radio, hosted by Santa himself.
That's right.
Plus, our most popular station, iHeart Christmas Radio. No need to search for the perfect Christmas soundtrack. iHeart Radio is the only app you need for Christmas music. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
iHeart Radio.
Now 53.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I am Joe Daniel of Youngstown Computer, and we do this on Saturday. We get to talk about things that are happening in tech, share some experiences with you, the listeners, and allow you to participate back at us and share experiences with us. Ask your questions if you might have any. A little bit about Youngstown Computer. I told you guys we are a service provider. We're also doing some hardware. I didn't give the number out, and that was kind of on my end here, 330-259-7278. Today, there's no one in the office, so if you want to leave a message, they can get you queued up for the beginning of next week. If you want to have something looked at, we'll make sure that we get you scheduled in. Our guys are all enjoying a long weekend, much needed time off. And when you do what we do, it's not. I'm not going to say that's high stress, because there are much harder jobs than computer tech. But we are responsible for a whole lot. So there's a lot of things that are perpetual, where you have worrying, anxiety, and our guys really, we worry about our customers, and we really, put their needs ahead of our own. And so there's a lot of things that, when one project comes up, somebody comes in our office and they got hit with some kind of virus. Our job is to help them get out of it. So we're in the boat with you. We're fighting to get your stuff back. And, you're hiring us for our brain and our ability. But at the same time, once we get to some downtime, we get to disconnect from problems. That's why a lot of our guys, when they get home and you ask them to fix their computer, they just sigh at you, because they just unplugged. They don't want to worry about it. They don't want to problem solve or troubleshoot. That's what they do at the office. So they don't want to do that when they come home. But anyway, 330-259-7278. That's the office number. You can call there and get something scheduled. And across the board, any service that you can think of on your machine, whether it's you want to add memory and do an upgrade, more hard drive space, you're having a problem, virus cleanup, all of that stuff applies. If anything that you might have, give them a shot at it. And if you call about something that we don't think we can handle best, we at least can put you on a path where you can go find someone who does field it. And, we're not, our guys are not salespeople. We are going to try to line you up with whomever, even if it's not us, whomever can field the request the best. So we get a lot of people that call up and say, hey, I want to do a security system. Okay, so we're not the best security company. I'm sure there are many people who have installed more systems than us, that have more things in stock than us, that just have more overall. That's their wheelhouse. That's what they do for a living. So we're not going to try to sell you a security system. Now, if you absolutely trust us and you want us to do it, we will do it. Right? Because we understand all of the technologies behind it. We know how to mount things, and we know how to run cables, and we know how to configure software. So it's not out of our wheelhouse. We know how to do it. There's just people who specialize in certain things, like data recoveries and security systems. And so if you need something, we will let you know if it's not something that we think we should handle, or if they're in fact just better people than us that could field. 330-259-7278 is that phone number. So, John, I see you out there. We're going to get to your call as soon as we get back. If you want to line up, 330-729-9977. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
It's 2 o'clock. Always a good time to call Baird Brothers, featuring fine hardwoods since 1960. Online at BairdBrothers.com. News Radio 570 WKBN, Youngstown's news, weather, and talk station.
Here's what's happening in the valley. The driver of a car that flipped in a crash in Mercer County was nowhere to be found when police arrived. Police say they found the flipped vehicle responding to a single-car crash last night on Mercer West Middlesex Road in Lackawanna Township. It's still under investigation. A search that started Thursday night after a man from Wethersfield was reported missing ended up with the man being found dead in a wooded area yesterday. Trumbull County 911 says Jeff White went missing about 9:30 Thursday night. Officials say White appears to have died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. An investigation is underway. If you're wondering why power was knocked out to parts of Trumbull County yesterday for the second time in the past week, First Energy says the outage was due to an issue with their equipment. A few thousand customers also had power knocked out on Wednesday afternoon. In sports, the Cavs beat Charlotte 100-99 on the ice. Penguins, they lose to Boston 4-3. The Youngstown Phantoms, they were in Bloomington last night. They beat Central Illinois 4-3. College basketball, Bucknell beat the YSU women 66-60. Northern Colorado beat the YSU men 80-67. The men are back in action this afternoon. 4:40 airtime. They take on Southern Mississippi. Division V high school football playoffs. Eastwood beat South Range 21-7. Western Pennsylvania, Farrell shut out Ridgeway Johnsonburg 36-0. High school girls basketball, Canton McKinley over Ursuline 75-34, and Howland beat Lakeview 69-54. From the insurance experts, our Kashmiri and Associates News Center, I'm Dave Price on Youngstown Warren's only news radio 570 WKBN.
Anti-harassment training may be coming to the House. I'm Debbie Handley, Fox News. The House is expected to vote on a bipartisan resolution requiring all House members and their staffs to undergo anti-harassment and anti-discrimination training.
Ranking Member Robert Brady of the Committee on House Administration will vote on the resolution next week, and he says, quote, "We cannot tolerate any discrimination or harassment in the workplace, and we cannot have a system that protects offenders."
Fox's Marianne Rafferty. President Trump is spending the Thanksgiving holiday at his Mar-a-Lago resort in West Palm Beach. On Friday, the president played golf with some very famous people.
The presidential motorcade drove up to Jupiter Friday to Trump National Golf Club, where the president golfed with Tiger Woods, Dustin Johnson, the current world #1, and PGA pro Brad Faxon.
Fox's Phil Keating. The president spoke by phone with the Turkish president. The two leaders discussed the ongoing Syrian civil war and other regional issues. The Egyptian military launched strikes overnight on vehicles used in Friday's deadly bombing at a mosque. 305 people were killed, over 24 of them children. The massacre has drawn international response.
Prime Minister Theresa May tweeted, "Appalled by the sickening attack on a mosque in North Sinai. Condolences with all those in Egypt affected by this evil and cowardly act." And in Washington, Donald Trump said, "Horrible and cowardly terrorist attack on innocent and defenseless worshippers in Egypt. The world cannot tolerate terrorism. We must defeat them militarily and discredit the extremist ideology that forms the basis of their existence." At midnight, Paris's Eiffel Tower was dimmed to mark yet another mass slaughter of innocent lives, a sight we've become all too familiar with.
Fox News, fair and balanced.
Our next update at 2:30. Just ahead, more stimulating talk from the O'Charlie's Digital Studios. $9.99 menu, 9 great meals, 1 great price. O'Charlie's.
I play every day. Free to download and play every day.
At this point, I kind of want to smash the TV. But instead, I went to iPlay.com and downloaded the app and play new and classic games on my computer for free. No sign up and no credit card required. Nothing like a good mystery to take me away, but I don't have time for a movie or a novel. So instead, I'm into the latest iPlay games in the Mystery Case Files Adventure series. And when I need a classic, Agatha Christie murder mystery games hit the spot. I get my mystery fix and come away thinking more clearly. No Wi-Fi? No problem. With the free iPlay app, I can play my games offline and tune out. I'm so glad I went to iPlay.com and downloaded the app. It's my daily sanity restoration. I play every day.
I play every day. Free to download and play every day.
Are you feeling stressed, having trouble sleeping? Tune into the Chris McKay Show, Sunday morning at 8:30, and learn how to reduce these common problems. Chris McKay, Sunday morning, 8:30. News Radio 570 WKBN. Hi again, Dan Rivers. As you know, the holidays can be stressful. Well, we have a way to make it easier. Our annual Christmas auction is happening Monday, November 27th through Monday, December 4th at 2. Check our website right now and see what you can bid on. 570WKBN.com.
It's the year-end sales event on all SUVs at Fairway Ford in Canfield. We are taking $5,500 off every 2017 Ford Explorer, Edge, and Escape. With our giant SUV selection and $5,500 off every single Ford Explorer, Escape, and Edge, you simply can't go wrong with your new SUV this winter. Plus, we'll pay top dollar for your trade-in. See us at fairwayfordohio.com or 330-533-FORD. Fairway, that's the way we do business.
Take the short drive to Geneva on the Lake and enjoy Old Firehouse Winery. For that perfect gift, visit Deneen's Jewelry and Gifts, 822 North State Street, Girard.
Mostly cloudy skies today. Chance for a rain shower, the high 47. Tonight, clouds, chance for rain, maybe a snow shower, the low 29. Sunday, partly sunny with a high 39. Partly cloudy on Sunday night, a low 31. And sunshine Monday with a high 47. Again, today, mostly cloudy, chance for rain showers, and a high 47.
Now 53.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I am Joe Danier over at Youngstown. Yeah, I messed that up completely. This is like rookie day here at the studio. Anyway, this is Youngstown Computer Show. I'm Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer, and this is what we get to do on Saturdays. So they allow us to have a microphone and talk to all of you fine folks. Share your experiences with us, and we use your experience to sort of talk about it out loud and let other people overhear the conversations, and everybody collectively gets better because of it. 330-729-9977 is the phone number. You can also text message at 333-1570, and I will peek in on those text messages throughout the show and share them on the show if they can be shared. We're also streaming over on YouTube, so if you want to check the video stream, you can check us out over there. I posted the link over on Facebook, so if you're friends with me over there, you can get the link. You can also just search for Youngstown Computer Show on the YouTube search, and the live feed will show up. All right, take some more phone calls here. Let's go to John next. John, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Yes, hi, Joe. I've turned my computer on. I have a Hewlett-Packard laptop, and my white screen came up normally, and it said welcome with my ID, and I put my PIN in. And when I put my PIN in, my icons didn't come on or nothing. It brought me back to the same page with the and to enter my PIN again and the welcoming, and I just can't get anything going with it. It just seems, I don't know if I have a virus or what's going on, but normally after I would enter my PIN, there'll be like little dots in a circle going around, and then would just bring my icons up and bring my colored screen and everything up. Well, it just brings me back to my white screen with the welcoming.
Okay, and does it say that it's the wrong password? Does it give you an error message at all?
No, I did get an error message once, but I kept putting my password in there, and then it took it again. And it brought me back again to the screen, and it says PIN in that little box. And I typed the PIN in, and then again, it brought me right back to where I was. I couldn't get in.
Interesting. I would maybe taking the same advice from the last caller here, and maybe trying to do a reset on the PIN. It might have been either entered too many times. I don't know what could be going on there. But trying to do a reset will at least know that you're entering the right one. Also, you could try using the numeric keys above the keyboard instead of the numbers keypad. Sometimes some will get messed up over there, and you won't be putting in the keys that you think you are. So try using the numbers above. If you're not getting an error, I mean, I would probably hard reset the computer, hold the power button down until it restarts, and then give it a go again, because it does depend on that you're receiving, good information from the keyboard. So something might have got jumbled, a key got stuck down or something like that, and, I'd check the easy stuff first.
Right. Okay, Joe, thank you very much. I'll try that.
You're welcome. Thanks. Appreciate it. All right, that's John. And really, when it comes to this password stuff, like I said, there's two things that changed. Number one, your password isn't just on the computer. Okay, it can also be reset or changed from the website. If you visit your Microsoft account, you can go through a reset procedure and change that PIN or that password from the website, and that way when you log back in, it's reset and you can use that new password. Another thing that you might want to do is create 2 administrator accounts on a machine. So if one of those passwords gets messed up or you get locked out of it somehow, you can use the other one and log in. So let's just say husband and wife, they both set up a username on every computer they have, and that way if husband stops working, wife can log in, reset husband's password, and you're good to go again. That's another way to sort of get around that stuff happening. But passwords are pretty... pretty simple when it comes to these things. So if it's a wrong password, if you were entering the wrong password, then it's not going to let you in. You have to provide the right PIN or password for the machine. You're either going to reset it or you're going to log in and reset it from the local side or reset it from the internet side. So 330-729-9977. Let's go to Sally next. Sally, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Yes, I received an email today, and it says iCloud Service. That's the title. And it says regarding fraud on your account. And I think it's, not a real, it's somebody maybe trying to hack into my account. It says, because they spelled unauthorized wrong. So I just wondered, I've gotten these in the past. I mean, not frequently, but maybe several months ago, and I ignored it and didn't do anything about it. But when I got the one today and I knew your show was on, I thought I would call and ask you about that.
Here's what I usually do. If I get a weird email that suggests there might be some fraud, I'll usually at least look into it to make sure that it's not legit. If it came in through email, I almost discredit it immediately as being some kind of scam. It's trying to get me to do something. But at least if I think there might be a little bit legitimacy to it, that I'll at least go check. So in this case, it could be legitimate because iCloud and Apple attach certain features, some services to those accounts. So if your password gets changed, it can't log into the services, it can't bill a credit card, and then you get a service interruption. So that's really the worst case, is if something's not right, I would check from your iTunes account will be billed to a specific credit card. Go check the credit card and see if there was anything billed.
And I did that, and there wasn't anything on my credit card.
I almost give you 100% chance that it's not right.
Right. So should I just put it in trash?
Yeah, just delete it and get rid of it.
Open the PDF didn't do that. I didn't open the PDF.
Perfect. Amazing. Yeah, just go ahead and delete it and get rid of it.
And but just kind of do a little checking if I get another one like this.
Yeah, like I said, every once in a while use it to peek into it to see if it's legit, but pretty much I get so many of those a day that not all of them I can check into, so, pick and choose.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Sally. Appreciate the phone call. And the reason I say that, the worst case that's going to happen is that, you get service interruption, your HBO stops working, they couldn't hit a credit card, a password change. And this just actually happened to me where I changed my iTunes password. And my iPad started nagging at me and said, hey, we couldn't do your backup because your iTunes password, your iCloud password was changed. And so that one I was, sort of expecting. But you can always go through the subscriptions that are tied to whatever that account. So if your Amazon account has some services, or your iTunes account has some services, or your Microsoft account has some services, you can always go check your account through those services and find out what's being billed. If something doesn't look right, and I will tell you, there are a lot of you out there in this audience right now that are probably paying for things that you don't even know you're paying for, and you just pay your bills without checking the individual things that come across your statements. Pick every once in a while, especially now when fraud is at an all-time high in December especially. We do more purchasing. There's just more exposure to our information. So December's a really good month to scour. Like, stop all of your credit card statements and look through all of them and make sure you get sort of familiar with the stuff that's billing automatically to these accounts. Same thing with your checking account. These ACH transactions that hit your account, and you just cruise through them and just accept that they're all legitimate. You got to really look at that stuff. So do all of your credit card bills, do your checking account, and also your cell phone bills. Anything that you can use to purchase something, take 1 month's worth of snapshot, put all of those things together, go through every transaction to make sure you're not not paying for something that you're not getting. So you're going to find two things. I guarantee you, if you did that right now, you're going to find stuff that you didn't even know is not supposed to be billing, and there's going to be stuff that you forgot about that's still being billed, and it's going to say, oh, that's $20 a month that's coming out that I'm not even using that service anymore. So at least once a year, go through all of those statements, take a highlighter off, and be able to point at it and say, yes, that is legitimate, and yes, I still want that. And that way you can take December to take a lot of those things and carve them out of your bill. I bet you could save a couple $100 a year just by doing that once a year. So 330-729-9977. Spoke earlier in the program about us starting to build some hardware. We're putting together computer systems for a couple of the middle and upper end computer configurations. Our favorite sort of demographic for this is going to be the gaming community. And we've always sort of flirted with the gaming community because, they like the best of the best. They like when they look at a motherboard or a hard drive, they pay attention to the really, specific details of what the capabilities of this hardware can do. And those are the guys that sort of push the envelope in the performance of the computers that we enjoy. So our computers get better because of the people that push the boundaries of what the performance of the hardware can do. So our hardware just moves up, and we stay in that middle range on the commercial side, and we stay at the low middle range on the residential side, and we benefit from all of that innovation that came out ahead of us. So we're really flirting with those people now. Throughout December, we're going to hold I'm not going to call it a workshop, but that's really what it is we're going to take a bunch of these gamers and high-end users, and most of those guys want to build their own stuff anyway, and a lot of them already are doing it. So it's not like a lot of high-end people just buy the components and they assemble it themselves and whatnot. We're going to do a workshop that allows you to build your own computer. So you purchase it. The starter gaming machine is about I think it was $1,050 is the lowest configuration that I could come up with. We buy all the components. So we're going to have a tray full of motherboards and hard drives and memory. You can come down to my office on Western Reserve Road, and you can build your machine. And not along the way, you can learn about the components that we're putting in the machine and why we picked this motherboard and what about it that you can do to overclock it and what you can do, why we picked this memory and what the significance are. Everybody in that room, even myself, is going to learn something as we put these together. Because there's, when we fire up a computer, we buy it from someone who we hope is smarter than us to set it up with the components that they think we need. Most of the time, we just accept the default settings, right? And it's good enough to be able to do what it is that we want to do. When you're doing performance end, where you've got, you're rendering video or developing graphics or playing video games, your experience gets better the more you know about the equipment that's in front of you. So if you want to put your own machine together and you want to learn how this is done, it's a lot less intimidating than you can think. There's only like 7 basic components. So you got this chassis, this metal carcass, think of frame of a car that everything gets bolted to. Then you've got your main board. And the main board has all of your integrated components that control the memory and the CPU and the video card and the sound card and all your input-output. Probably one of your most significant pieces in the build. Then you have your actual CPU that goes in the motherboard. You have your memory sticks, which also go in the motherboard. You have your video card, and gamers specifically, will use a separate video card than the one that's integrated on the computer, because the one that's integrated in the computer is usually pretty basic. So we'll disable the one that's on the board and put a specific GPU. It has its own hardware, its own CPU, it has its own memory. It can do a lot more than the one that's sitting on the board. And then we put things in like the power supply, making sure it has enough to be able to supply enough current for everything that's in the build, a CD drive. So we'll buy all the components, allow you to assemble it, and we'll talk through the assembly process. So when all that's really required, if you're interested in doing and learning how to do one of these builds and you're ready for a new machine anyway, you can get with my office, 330-259-7278. Let them know you want to do the build, be included in it. We're only taking 10 people, so the office is only so big to be able to do so many of these builds. We only have enough, so much counter space. So if you're interested in doing that, I will have all of the components. You can get with the office and get prepaid for this. We'll buy all the components for you. We'll buy all the materials, all the tools, and we'll also do all of the tweaking. So when you put it together and you're going through the BIOS and you know what these settings are. If you're going to overclock a machine, know what it is that you're doing. If you're, setting your power options and your, wake on LAN and all of that stuff, what does it mean and how do I use it? And just you take the opportunity when you're getting a computer anyway to learn what it is that goes into this machine. So I know a lot of the gamers will be showing up for this, but don't be intimidated. And if you just want to put in, a machine that runs really well, that bottom end of the spectrum, you're going to end up with a very stable on the top end of the middle. So you got your value stuff, and I'm not interested in building value stuff. I'm really not. There's enough computers out there that can churn out $500 computers, and they're really good at it, and I'm not going to try to compete with that. You got middle of the road, where the stuff that, is pretty proven out. The stuff's been on the market for a little while. So it's stuff that, is very consistent and proven out. The high-end stuff is a little more performance. It's brand new, and it's as fast as you can get, and it's really kind of new in the development. But we're going to go from that middle of the line all the way up to the top. So if you're interested in that, 330-259-7278. Tell our guys that you want to get scheduled, and we'll be in touch with get you registered and set up for that workshop. All right, we're going to take a break, come back, take some more of your phone calls. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
You're hearing the Youngstown Computer Show with Joe Danier on News Radio 570 WKBN.
Business owners, are you paying too much for group health benefits? You now have a new choice that could save you money. Your local Chamber of Commerce has teamed up with Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield on a plan that will benefit your business for years to come. This plan includes expanded wellness. Call 1-844-MED-OHIO or visit 844medohio.com. Again, that's 844medohio.com.
Everyone does it. In the living room, the garage, the kitchen table, everyone you know. Your kid's teacher, the neighbor, the coffee guy, hey, you're doing it right now. I'm talking about listening to radio. Radio is huge. And radio ads like this connect with 93% of Americans a week. That's bigger than TV, Facebook, and Google. So if you're a marketer with radio, you reach more of whom you want. Get to iHeartMedia.com for the one place everyone is. AM, FM, radio. Come on, everyone's doing it.
Moscow Ballet's Great Russian Nutcracker 25th Anniversary Tour is performing in Youngstown this Christmas. Give your family a gift that will last a lifetime. Experience world-famous Russian dance with a Broadway-style stage show, hailed in the press as the #1 Christmas experience for children of all ages. Celebrate the season at nutcracker.com and save up to 15% with promo code BELLS. Appearing at Edward W. Powers Auditorium, November 25th.
All right, Thanksgiving is here, and most of you're going to be seeing friends and family and feasting on turkey, maybe watching NFL games. Okay, wait, check that part. Well, many of you may not be watching NFL games, but it doesn't matter. I have the best alternative to watching football this year, and guess what? It's called Wits and Wagers, the party game. Now, you've heard me talking about this great game for years. I talk about it for a reason. It is the best game you'll ever play. You set it up on the table. You gather around as many people as you want to play. You play with teams. You can stand. You can sit in a chair. You just gather around the table, friends and family, and guess what? Everybody can play of any age, and before you know it, your whole room is going to be filled with cheering and laughter and high fives, and you'll actually be creating family memories for a lifetime. No game will bring you together like Wits and Wagers. Today, Wits and Wagers is on sale at Target for 50% off. It's a Black Friday special at Target. Get Wits and Wagers today, 50% off at Target for Black Friday. The best price of the year.
It's true. It's the year-end sales event at Fairway Ford in Canfield. But because of our giant selection, we're taking $7,000 off every new 2018 Ford F-150, XLT, STX, and XL in stock. Fairway gives you $7,000 off the lowest MSRP available on new 2018 Ford F-150s, so you save even more at Fairway Ford. See us at fairwayfordohio.com or 330-533-FORD. Fairway, that's the way we do business.
The hometown advantage. You see it in the shops and offices downtown, in our factories, schools, and farms. Jeff the accountant has it. So do Corey in IT and Amber, the vet tech. They found local jobs at MahoningValleyHelpWanted.com. It's where local employers find local workers like you, people who care about this community. Search jobs and apply online right now. Get the advantage of finding a job close to home at MahoningValleyHelpWanted.com. Local jobs that work.
Now 53.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I am Joe Daniel of Youngstown Computer, and we do this on Saturday where we let you talk to us about things that are happening in your computer world. Ask us questions or do whatever you need to do. The floor is open for pretty much all the discussion. We talked about net neutrality and building computers, a couple password resets. This coming up last week, I figured I would throw it in there, Bitcoin. And it comes up every once in a while. If you've been listening to this show, I think back in 2014 is when I first experimented with it and learned everything there was to know about it. We set up a mining farm where, we mined our own Bitcoins for the longest time. We bought a ton of hardware that learned the intricacies of how the network functions. And I still get asked to this day, what is Bitcoin? So I'm going to take a couple minutes here and just describe to you and tell you what Bitcoin is and why it matters. So think of Bitcoin as a digital currency. Okay, so you have a physical currency where you have a dollar bill or a coin in your pocket, and then you have your credit card. So now we're getting a little bit more virtual because you could spend money through a debit card and a credit card, and it never really has to correspond with something physical that you can touch. Well, Bitcoin is a decentralized currency, which means that there's no single person or entity that has control of Bitcoin. Bitcoin works on an agreement system. Okay, so the network as a whole has to agree that a transaction happened in order for a transaction to happen. So the bigger the network is, the more people you have to agree that something happened. And that's why it makes it really terribly hard to have fraud in Bitcoin because it is so secure. Like you can compromise a computer, but unless you compromise 51% of the computers, it's not really fraud, because as soon as you try to, let's just say I figured out a way to throw code to make it look like I had 22 Bitcoins in my Bitcoin wallet. I could do that like for a second until the rest of the network doesn't agree that the transaction happened, and then the transaction disappears. So you're in control of the network. You're in control of how money is spent. So if you have to agree to send money to people. So that's why they call it a wallet. I mean, they're making something that's very it's hard to picture because it's not concrete. It's it gives it a method where if money's in your wallet, you have to send it to people rather than people being able to bill you. Like we're used to ACHs where people go into our wallet for us when we're not even around and pull stuff off. Well, Bitcoin cannot be from the buyer's end. It has to be from the seller's end, or the person that has the money in the wallet has to send it to someone. And so Bitcoin works this way, where if you have all of these computers that are registering transactions, those people are called the miners. Those are the people that are taking transactions and letting you use some of their hardware. And all those transactions that go through, they are rewarded with transaction fees from processing Bitcoin. So you can imagine there is a ton of people participating because they get paid money to let you use their computer to process these coins. And for a while, when we were really this was 2014. Bitcoins were about $125 a piece, and we were mining about 1 Bitcoin a day. Okay, so the transactions that would come through, we would be able to put a Bitcoin away, $125 per coin. I think my electric bill for a while was like $1,000 a month. Okay, so we were bringing in about $125 a day, and then the paid our electric bill. So we weren't making a whole lot on those Bitcoins, right? But if you fast forward 3 years, if I was working on Bitcoin when it was $125 and now it's $8,700, that same Bitcoin, $8,700 version, would have paid the electric bill a couple times over. So what we have here is we have a deflationary currency. So our dollars are inflationary. So they keep creating more, right, which makes the value go down. A loaf of bread costs $1, then $1.01, and then $1.02, then $1.03. Because we print more of it, we devalue the currency that's already in existence. Well, the controlled supply of Bitcoin means that it starts halving. So every certain number of blocks, which in this case, every 21,000 blocks, the number of rewards to people who are mining this gets halved. And there will only be 21,000 Bitcoins ever produced before this thing is said and done. And right now we're on 16,700,000. So there's only going to be 4,000 more or 4 million more Bitcoins that are going to be produced in any given time. And every 21,000 transactions or 210,000 transactions, it's halving the amount that's given. So we could talk more about Bitcoin going forward too. I know a lot about it. So if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call, 330-729-9977. We're going to take a break, come back, take some more of those calls. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
You're hearing the Youngstown Computer Show with Joe Danier on News Radio 570 WKBN.
It's 2:30.
Here's what's happening in the valley. The driver of a car that flipped in a crash in Mercer County was nowhere to be found when police arrived. Police say they found the flipped vehicle responding to a single-car crash last night on Mercer West Middlesex Road in Lackawanna Township. It's still under investigation. A search that started Thursday night after a man from Wethersfield was reported missing ended up with the man being found dead in a wooded area yesterday. Trumbull County 911 says Jeff White went missing about 9:30 Thursday night. Officials say White appears to have died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. An investigation is underway. If you're wondering why power was knocked out to parts of Trumbull County yesterday for the second time in the past week, First Energy says the outage was due to an issue with their equipment. A few thousand customers also had power knocked out on Wednesday afternoon. In sports, the Cavs beat Charlotte 100-99 on the ice. Penguins, they lose to Boston 4-3. The Youngstown Phantoms, they were in Bloomington last night. They beat Central Illinois 4-3. College basketball, Bucknell beat the YSU women 66-60. Northern Colorado beat the YSU men 80-67. The men are back in action this afternoon. 4:40 airtime. They take on Southern Mississippi. Division V high school football playoffs. Eastwood beat South Range 21-7. Western Pennsylvania, Farrell shut out Ridgeway Johnsonburg 36-0. High school girls basketball, Canton McKinley over Ursuline 75-34, and Howland beat Lakeview 69-54. From the insurance experts, our Kashmiri and Associates News Center, I'm Dave Price on Youngstown Warren's only News Radio 570 WKBN.
Fox News Radio, I'm Joe Chiro. When the House returns to Capitol Hill, it's expected to vote on a sexual harassment resolution for House staff.
Ranking Member Robert Brady of the Committee on House Administration will vote on the resolution next week, and he says, quote, "We cannot tolerate any discrimination or harassment in the workplace, and we cannot have a system that protects offenders."
Fox's Marianne Rafferty. The bipartisan resolution will require all House members and staff to take anti-harassment and anti-discrimination training. It's Small Business Saturday, a chance for local businesses to get a boost during the holiday shopping season.
Was created in 2010 by American Express and Small Business Administration, who wanted to promote holiday shopping at these small businesses. So they created this day right after Black Friday and obviously before Cyber Monday.
Fox's Brian Yennis. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Our next update at 3, just ahead. More stimulating talk from the O'Charley's Digital Studios. $9.99 menu, 9 great meals, 1 great price. O'Charley's.
Hi again, Dan Rivers. As you know, the holidays can be stressful. Well, we have a way to make it easier. Our annual Christmas auction is happening Monday, November 27th through Monday, December 4th at 2. Check our website right now and see what you can bid on. 570WKBN.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
If you're considering going back to school, ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you have college credits you need transferred? Do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of these questions, Arizona State University is the perfect school for you. Arizona State University offers over 150 highly ranked degree programs 100% online. You'll learn the same degree as you would on campus from wherever you are on your schedule. Plus, ASU Online accepts most transfer credits. For information, text WORK to 35517. Learn for yourself why the Wall Street Journal ranks ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates and why 87% of ASU grads are recruited within 90 days of graduation. Learn to grow, learn to succeed, and learn to thrive at Arizona State University. To learn more about ASU Online degrees, text WORK to 35517. That's WORK to 35517.
One of the issues we have in Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania is lack of sunshine. Sometimes it's simple as just a vitamin D deficiency. Find out more about this deficiency Sunday morning, 7 a.m., News Radio 570 WKBN.
Moscow Ballet's Great Russian Nutcracker 25th Anniversary Tour is performing in Youngstown this Christmas. Give your family a gift that will last a lifetime. Experience world-famous Russian dance with a Broadway-style stage show, hailed in the press as the #1 Christmas experience for children of all ages. Celebrate the season at nutcracker.com and save up to 15% with promo code BELLS. Appearing at Edward W. Powers Auditorium, November 25th.
One size fits all has no place in your bedroom. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of Helix Sleep, and we know one mattress can't work for everyone. That's why we created the only mattress built for you. Go to helixsleep.com, take our 2-minute sleep quiz, and we'll build your custom mattress and ship it to you for free. Try it for 100 nights, and if it's not the best sleep you've ever had, we'll pick it up and give you your money back. Go to helixsleep.com/talkradio right now, and we'll give you $50 towards your custom mattress. That's helixsleep.com/talkradio.
Mother's Milk, a miracle elixir. GodSaidManSaid.com. Hauntings, dead spirits, and ghosts. Noah's Ark, fact or fiction. GodSaidManSaid.com. Sex superbug. Kiss panic attacks goodbye. Unlock your Holy Ghost pharmacy. GodSaidManSaid.com. Y chromosome Adam and mtDNA Eve. 21 signs of doomsday in the chip. Hours of text and streaming audio. GodSaidManSaid.com.
Don't be left out in the cold this winter. Call Mazza Heating in Girard, 545-6063. Your factory authorized Bryant dealer.
Mostly cloudy skies today. Chance for a rain shower, the high 47. Tonight, clouds, chance for rain, maybe a snow shower, the low 29. Sunday, partly sunny with a high 39. Partly cloudy on Sunday night, a low 31. And sunshine Monday with a high 47. Again, today, mostly cloudy, chance for rain showers, and a high 47.
Now 53.
For news on demand, go to 570WKBN.com. Brought to you by Donnell Ford.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. We're talking a little bit about Bitcoin. So if you've not heard of it, decentralized currency that the world is using, you got to think of it from this standpoint. I don't think that this currency has a real big place in the United States, okay? But you have to understand that there are other parts of the world that don't have really dependable, solid currencies like we do, and they're eating up this currency because it's outside the hands of corrupt governments and stuff like that. So there are a lot of places in this world that are using it for stability's sake. You'll watch sort of when there's chaos in a part of the world, people will dump their funds into Bitcoin, and you'll see this big bubble burst up where people are buying into something that they know is going to be there, that is less volatile. And that's hard to imagine, less volatile than their home currency. So we're sort of a little participant where we've got a stable currency, so we don't have to dump it off into something that, because in comparison, Bitcoin is way more volatile than the U.S. dollar. So our safe play is to keep it in cash and watch as this thing bounces all over the place. But as I said, it's a deflationary currency, so that it's the amount of actual coins becomes less and less as it's distributed into that ecosystem. And every 3 years, or 210,000 transactions, it halves the amount. So you got to understand, all those people that have those computers are every 10 minutes being paid right now 12.5 Bitcoins. So that 12.5 Bitcoins that every 10 minutes has to pay for the resources that the whole network is consuming, the electricity and the hardware and whatnot. So it's pretty predictable to know what the cost is to supporting that network. If a Bitcoin's at 25 Bitcoins for every 10 minutes is enough to support X amount, when they have to 12.5, it's pretty predictable that it's going to have double the value, or else the network kind of falls off unless people participate, which that hasn't occurred yet. Now, I have to tell you that there is nobody in this audience that I recommend actually go and buy Bitcoins. As somebody I trust, John Arnold in the financial world, said that you are playing with fire when you are dealing in Bitcoin, because this thing tomorrow could not even be a thing anymore. So if you put a lot of money into Bitcoin, it could evaporate tomorrow and the world could totally bail on it, and it could have some major exploit and it could just totally fall apart. Now, I've always said from the beginning, if this thing sticks around, like from a money standpoint, it's predictable where it will be at a certain level. So, for instance, I could have written on a sheet of paper that said in 2017 that Bitcoin would be $3,000. It would have to be $3,000 in order for the Bitcoins that are paid out every 10 minutes to be worthwhile for the people who are doing this, for that to happen. So as long as it's a functioning network, 3,000 is where it have to be, and it's at 8,700. Right? So now the math is kind of easy. So in 2020, 3 years from now, when it halves again, well, if it took $3,000 a Bitcoin to support a network, then it's going to cost at least double that, because now the coins are half as many as being given as a reward to the people who are mining. So it's going to have to be $6,000 in 2020, which says if my prediction for 3 years from now is a number lower than it is right now, you can see how there might be a little bit of bubbling action that's going in here. And that's very predictable. You can almost guarantee that in something that is easy manipulated and has a low, total dollar amount, total capitalization, that can be manipulated pretty easy. If there's some big players that have lots of money and they wanted to, use computer trading to be able to, bubble up the values, they could do that. So that's really what you're playing with. You're playing with people with way more money than you do. They're messing with it to make fractions of a fraction of a penny, and they're really manipulating the cost of this. I'm looking at it not as an investment, but if you were a miner and you had to cover costs, where this would have to be to cover your costs. And that's so my prediction for this year is $3,000. So if you see that $8,700 is beyond where it's supposed to be, then yeah, you're above my estimate. And even $6,000. So I predict that Bitcoin's going to come down a little bit and get back down to reality maybe a little bit. And, maybe we'll get in the $2,500, $3,000 range. That's where I'd be more comfortable getting involved. But I'm nowhere near it. I'm not buying a single coin. I'm not mining. I'm not doing anything. When you think there's a huge bubble, this is the worst time that you can, think about being involved. You don't want to buy on the highest side that it's ever been. So that's my suggestion. Will it be around? There's no way to know. I mean, we've been playing with it for 5 years, and it's been here for 5 years, and it's got some major players that have accepted it. So that's all I can say about it. I don't know. It could go away tomorrow. And that's why I don't recommend any of you out there that know. If you know less than me, I wouldn't be playing with it right now because you're just playing with fire. But it's interesting to stay involved, keep your eye on it. As this thing does get exciting, you have people that buy it a whole lot. But regulatory-wise in the United States, it's really hard to go beyond where we're at right now because it is volatile. And, if you put a whole lot of investment in $8,000 and then tomorrow it's $3,000, you're going to wish that you hadn't. So anyway, if you have any questions about Bitcoin, I'd be more than happy to answer those. So yes, over the years, we have mined and purchased and found ourselves lots of Bitcoins. And I'm sure it'll continue to be an exciting market to at least keep your eye on. So there you go. That's the Bitcoin talk. So let me tell you about this next Pay It Forward box that we set up over in North Lima. Everybody's familiar with our office outside in our parking lot. We have a plastic box called a Pay It Forward box. Now, this is my brainchild. Sort of when we were putting everything together and we were struggling and, we got through some hard times. The boxes was our ability to be able to pay that forward to somebody who might be in that same spot, behind us. So we set up this thing where we were able to take things and say, picture ourselves back and not having any food or not being able to pay a rent or not having a jacket or whatever, and give someone the ability to put that stuff in there for somebody else. And our hopes is it's fulfilling in the way that we could be there for a complete stranger who will never know our name, and we can leave those gifts for them who just might be the perfect time to be able to swing open that box and get something that they need, especially around the holidays. So we open one over in Struthers. We keep it filled with toiletries and clothes and food and all that kind of stuff. Gets probably about, I would say, in the summer, 10 visitors a day, but in December and during the holidays, every bit of 25 people a day come down there and just take a little bit off of there, some canned food, some gloves or something like that. And then we get a ton of people that come through there and donate and bring just bags of groceries to drop off. So it's a lot of people find that kind of fulfillment just alongside of us. So I would bet you there's every bit of 50 people that regularly go down to this place and keep it stocked and keep it full. And so where it's not a pantry or it's not a way to get food, it's just an outlet for people who want to pay some good things forward to other people that might be in some need. So I can't really say what at any given time will be down there. There's everything from, baby supplies to food to electric heaters, clothes, all that kind of stuff. Whatever people were inspired to put in there is what ends up being in there. Well, anyway, we got another one that we're setting up in North Lima. So the one outside of our office in Struthers has been there for a year. This year, we're putting one in North Lima right outside the Gate Church. And the box is labeled up, and it looks exactly like our other one in Struthers. The shelves I put in this morning, and the beginning of December, that will be put into service in its inaugural put in its original form here. So we're going to ask the public, and we're going to mention, if you need help from it. Really, the tagline is that you take what you need and leave what you can, and that goes for anyone who wants to donate. I'd appreciate the participation and the help because it really does take a whole lot of people to keep these things going. Especially in December, when 25 or 30 people a day are coming down to the Pay It Forward box. It takes a whole lot of people that doing on the donating side. So we at least do it twice a week during the holidays here. We make sure that there's stuff in there that doesn't go empty. But there's a whole lot of, there's been times where we go on our fill-up day and, we go on our fill-up day and somebody's already filled it and we got to keep it in our trunk for a couple days. So 330-729-9977. If you want to call our office too, let me give you that number, 330-259-7278. And if you need any computer service or you have a repair that needs done or you want to sign up for one of our workshops, please, give a call, get something scheduled with those guys. If there's anything else you want to talk about, I think we're going to have a half show next week, and then we'll probably be on a full schedule right after the holidays. So we'll get back in our normal, I'll have the ability to give you guys some current updates or more timely updates, having more regular show. Okay, so we haven't talked a lot about the new hardware that's coming out, going into this holiday season. We didn't talk a whole lot about any of the iPhone X or any of that new stuff that's coming out. We have some Android hardware that's on its way coming out right before the holidays. So I want to know if anybody out there, is planning on getting anything new for the holidays. I plan on next week, for the time that we do have, putting a list together, the things I think are going to be in demand. So if you're putting together sort of a tech shopping list for family and friends, I'm going to hit, nobody really goes out and buys an $800 phone for family and friends for Christmas, or maybe they don't. I don't know. Maybe they do. But I'm going to try to get some lower cost things, maybe $40, $50 tech and $150 and $200 tech, and kind of giving some options about the stuff that is pretty popular and hot, so that when you want to put together something, you're not buying crappy, stuff that you bought on Black Friday that is a below standard kind of thing. So I'll put together a list for that upcoming show. So if you're interested in knowing about the hardware for this holiday season, I'll get a beat on that and give you some stuff. I really, really, really like the beveled edge phones that are coming out, both the iPhone and the Android stuff. I'm really loving these displays where it's not necessarily a big feature. I just feels like it's a different phone because of the way that they're putting this stuff out there. So I'm really excited. Not necessarily that we're any more capable because of these new phones, but they really do look a lot better. If you're watching movies or and videos on your phone, which I would have never said that would have been me, a year ago. The screens just aren't big enough, and I'm not going to sit in front of my phone and watch a movie. But I find myself, at least with the iPad, that I'll prop it up against the wall, and every once in a while I'll watch some football or some shows, and it's, I don't know, where I thought I wouldn't do it, I'm finding myself doing it, being more likely that I'm going to find myself doing it, especially with the way that the sports are becoming available on our tablets. And a little bit of update on my cutting the cable thing. I still have not returned my cable boxes to the cable company, and I was holding out, making sure that I wasn't going to need in a pinch have to plug in the cable box again, but I haven't. It's been every bit of 3 months, and I've gotten every bit of my content streaming. I've not once had to plug the sucker back in, and DVR works the way that it should. The antenna works the way that it should. I'm using Hulu and Netflix and Sling TV. Pretty soon, YouTube TV is going to be coming out, so that will be entering in the mix. So, I mean, it's a really exciting time from a tech standpoint that all of this stuff helps consumers to be able to get the stuff they need without having to overpay these networks. And there's basically 400 channels that I would pay every month for, that I would watch about 3 of those channels. So even if I was paying $20 a month for the 3 channels that I watched, right, that's still pretty expensive per channel. I would still be paying far less because I never watched it before. I watched maybe a whole 12 hours of TV per week. So I was not that power watcher. I was way overpaying because I just was having to pay for stuff that there was no way that I would ever watch. Okay, we're going to take a break here real quick. So let me tell you a little about Youngstown Computer. And if you do need to set up service, we're located over on 600 Youngstown Poland Road. If you want to get something set up, make sure you call our line, 330-259-7278. Let them know that you want to get something scheduled, and we will receive your computer and do an assessment over on Monday and get your computer back to you as fast as we can. So again, that's 330-259-7278. So we're going to take a break, come back, take some more of your phone calls. This is the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
You're hearing the Youngstown Computer Show with Joe Danier on News Radio 570 WKBN.
Don't miss the 3-day home improvement savings during Menards' big Black Friday sale. Hurry in for best selection. This Chamberlain half-horse chain drive garage door opener is just $98 after rebate. Save $12 a gallon on Paramount Super Premium Interior Paint and Primer in 1. Select vinyl and laminate flooring or frisé carpet are only 99 cents a square foot. Find these and other huge savings now through Sunday during Menards' Black Friday sale.
Save big money at Menards.
Winter weather can bring plenty of white-knuckle driving moments. But with Michelin winter tires, you can get a little peace of mind knowing you're prepared for the unpredictable. And from November 15th to December 11th, you can get a $70 reward card after submission with the purchase of 4 new Michelin passenger or light truck tires. So be prepared for white-knuckle driving and get your vehicle ready for winter now. Just visit any Flynn's Tire and Auto Service location or go to flynnstire.com for more information.
And tell them Vinny sent you.
See michelinman.com/promo for details. Offer expires 12/11/17. Void where prohibited.
Fairway Ford in Canfield is going to save you thousands and thousands of dollars. We are discounting nearly every brand new 2017 Ford car, truck, and SUV by thousands of dollars. And we'll give you 0% financing for 72 months, plus an additional $1,000 rebate. So Fairway saves you thousands, 0% saves you thousands, and then get another 1,000 too. Only at fairwayfordohio.com or 330-533-FORD. Fairway, that's the way we do business.
Message and data rates may apply.
If you're considering going back to school, ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you have college credits you need transferred? Do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of these questions, Arizona State University is the perfect school for you. Arizona State University offers over 150 highly ranked degree programs 100% online. You'll learn the same degree as you would on campus from wherever you are on your schedule. Plus, ASU Online accepts most transfer credits. For information, text WORK to 35517. Learn for yourself why the Wall Street Journal ranks ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates and why 87% of ASU grads are recruited within 90 days of graduation. Learn to grow, learn to succeed, and learn to thrive at Arizona State University. To learn more about ASU online degrees, text WORK to 35517. That's WORK to 35517.
Moscow Ballet's Great Russian Nutcracker 25th Anniversary Tour is performing in Youngstown this Christmas. Give your family a gift that will last a lifetime. Experience world-famous Russian dance with a Broadway-style stage show, hailed in the press as the #1 Christmas experience for children of all ages. Celebrate the season at nutcracker.com and save up to 15% with promo code BELLS. Appearing at Edward W. Powers Auditorium, November 25th.
Every day. Free to download and play every day.
At this point, I kind of want to smash the TV. But instead, I went to iPlay.com and downloaded the app and play new and classic games on my computer for free. No sign up and no credit card required. Nothing like a good mystery to take me away, but I don't have time for a movie or a novel. So instead, I'm into the latest iPlay games in the Mystery Case Files Adventure series. And when I need a classic, Agatha Christie murder mystery games hit the spot. I get my mystery fix and come away thinking more clearly. No Wi-Fi? No problem. With the free iPlay app, I can play my games offline and tune out. I'm so glad I went to iPlay.com and downloaded the app. It's my daily sanity restoration. I play every day.
Every day. Free to download and play every day.
North Pole Radio on iHeartRadio.
Santa here. Join me as I play all of your Christmas favorites live from my North Pole studio.
Jingle all the way. Search North Pole Radio on the free iHeartRadio app and hit play for a perfect holiday season soundtrack.
Join me for a musical sleigh ride. It's going to be lit like Rudolph's nose. Ho, ho, ho!
North Pole Radio on iHeartRadio.com or on the free iHeartRadio app now.
It's 54.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. We're talking about all kinds of things in tech. So if you have a last-minute question, got about 4 minutes before the end of the program today, 330-729-9977. Let's go in the order. We got Brett coming up next. Brett, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can we help you?
Hi, Joe. How you doing?
Real good.
You know, Joe, I wanted to get your opinion on something. My sister's fiance lives in France, and he's quite a political activist and is very vocal about his opinions, probably a little too vocal. And anyway, he's facing 6 years in jail now for so-called hate speech because he posted on his Facebook that he doesn't believe the Holocaust happened.
Okay, well, I don't know where that was going, but thanks, Brett, for calling. Appreciate it. Let's go to we actually had a call that offline asked us let's go to him. Rocco. This is Dinosaur. Dinosaur, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can we help you?
Yeah, you understand the labeling when I tell you I am not into the 21st century. I don't have a cell phone. Don't have use of a computer internet system. Where, other than libraries, which are not secure, is there any place around that you could go to and pay to use a secure computer system?
I know FedEx has a couple of terminals that they use. You pay by the hour, and you can, put Word documents together and then print them. Now, when you say secure, does that mean that nobody's looking over your shoulder, kind of a thing?
Well, that, and so that there's no way that they can access the information by having set viruses and monitoring even FedEx.
Okay.
I'm in a situation where I've got one of those letters from FedEx, or I'm sorry, from Equifax, that my information may have been compromised. And, I'm thinking, well, okay, the only option they give me is the using the Internet to see if I'm on that list and to access them. Combined with the fact that from the standpoint of things like, financial information, IRS and so forth, taxes, is there some place that I can pay and know that it's being secure, rather than going through the cost of everything involved with having a computer system, maintaining its service fees, and everything else involved,
And I would try FedEx. FedEx is probably, if I were in your spot, I would go there. The only thing is that the machines are right out there and open. So if you are doing things that's sensitive, credit cards and Social Security numbers, the terminals are right there in the open. Now, they are limited down. I mean, they're intended for you to be able to put documents and be able to print them out on their printing equipment. So they are secure. Otherwise, I mean, if you contacted our office and you wanted to rent like our front station, we could do that. But I think FedEx is geared for that. So I would probably find out what they charge to be able to rent per hour those workstations.
Okay, the other question I have real quick.
Sure.
What would be the minimal amount of money that I would have to put up front and on a regular basis to get into just things that would handle financial billing, banking, again, dealing with the IRS as far as taxes are concerned, credit reports, those types of things?
All right. Well, a netbook is probably your cheapest, where you can get away with about $200 for the equipment, and then whatever your internet service provider would charge you. So probably $50 is probably your minimum. If it has to be Windows, you can probably get away with a $400 laptop, of one of those value laptops, and again $50. So your monthly fee is what's going to kill you, because it's $50 a month. But the cost of the hardware isn't so bad. So I hope that answered your question. All right, thanks for joining us. This has been the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. Have a great week.
It's 3